Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm joined by Mr. Marto Leonardo Martin himself. We're going to preview the FA Cup game coming up on Sunday against Stevenage. Maybe cover a little bit of the Wolves game. If you're looking for transfer roundup, we might do a little bit of transfers at the end of the show. But please check out my previous video earlier on today, where just rounded up some the transfer news, couple of the rumours, the outgoings, and then Jordan Nobbs signing for the Villa women, which was a big signing for them. So check that out. It's just a 10-minute video. Once you've watched us, of course, on this show, check us out. But yeah, hopefully, Martin, good to see you, mate. Hopefully, this could be the start of an FA Cup run.
Yeah, and it's about time we didn't get a Premier League team in the first round like Man United or Liverpool or something. And it's against Stevenage. I'm pretty sure, like all Villa fans, when Stevenage came out, we were buzzing because it was someone just a little bit different completely from what we're used to.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, like, it makes a change from getting Man United, or a Man City or a Chelsea or someone like that, and kissing goodbye to the FA Cup early doors. Before the FA Cup, and obviously, apologies to everyone that we didn't do a match reaction show. The games seem to be coming thick and fast at the minute, and traveling, work, everything like that, getting in the way. I couldn't do a match reaction show. We tried to maybe squeeze one in yesterday, but we couldn't do it, Mark. But quick couple of minutes on the Wolves game. What were your thoughts in terms of getting a point in the end? Do you think the point was the fair result?
Yeah, I think the point was a fair result. Like, I know on Villa Twitter, some people were saying that a draw is not a fair result. We probably got lucky there. I don't think we did. I think Wolves got lucky in the second half. But I'm hoping, and I feel sorry for Leon Bailey. I really do. He probably had time to look up and take another touch and then have a shot. Like, it wasn't a complete sitter, but like it was, because there was still a defender there in front of him and everything else. But I think he just took it too quick and didn't look up. And judging by his reaction, he knows he cares. He knows he was responsible for not probably putting us in the top half when we would have liked to have been. But on another day, he probably would have scored that, and hopefully, he's all right. And and I'm starting to see a bit of repetition from the Spurs game, but this game, that the first half starting off slow, which I think that's something obviously that needs to be addressed, because we can't just keep relying on these, our backs are against the wall, and then we start playing football. And don't get me wrong, we in the first 5 games, 10 points, you take that all day long.
Absolutely.
But, just this slow start, and that's, in the Premier League, you can be really punished for that. But luckily we haven't. But, that's something Emery will probably be addressing. And luckily for him, he's a transfer window.
Yeah. I agree, mate. I agree. I think I was at the game, and I think a couple of the frustrations was that it shows that we're a mid-table Premier League side. We haven't quite got that consistency yet. Wolves, as we said, and I know we predicted victories, but we said it was going to be a tougher game than we anticipated. Wolves were very, very good in that midfield area, and dominated us in the midfield in the first half. But I think the positives in terms of Emery as such was that he changed it and he made proactive changes, and his substitutions worked. Augustinson came on and did well. Coutinho came on and did very well. Ings came on and did very well. It just shows the inconsistencies that we've got. The likes of Emi Buendia, we love him. We think he's a real all action player, but he's just not got that. He's just not got that consistency. Same with Leon Bailey. Although I think Bailey just knuckled down in the second half and just did what he was asked to do in terms of try and beat his fullback and try and put balls in the box. And he ran himself into the ground. But yeah, it was like you said there, summed it up well. 10 points from the first 5 games. You can't ask for anything more. Going into this game on Sunday in the FA Cup, a little bit of a break, and then ready for Leeds next Friday, and hopefully we'll be in the next round of the Cup. Few comments coming in already, so we'll get reading them. Just let us know your comments first of all on that Wolves game, and then moving into the Stevenage game. What are your expectations from that? We'll run through some stats in terms of Stevenage and Villa. And we'll talk about what we think the team's going to look like, potentially some changes there. So just let us know your thoughts in the comments. Got loads of people watching already, so great. Thank you for your support. Please leave a like on the video. Please subscribe. Help us spread the word. We are, I think, 13 away from 800, which at the start of the week we were, I think, 730 or something. So to get the growth this week has just been incredible. So thanks everyone for subscribing. So please help us get to that 800 mark. Bobby K is in the house. Thank you for your comment. Richard Edwards, big supporter of us, says Winger needed more than a left back, in his opinion, or a striker. So yeah, we're looking and he trusts Emery. My computer's going a little bit funny there. Alfie's in the house. Evening all. Evening, Alfie. Michael has said a few people have asked if he's the Michael Huggins who cycled to Wembley for the playoff finals. Yes, he is, and he's now in training if Villa get to the final of the FA Cup. Michael, that is fantastic, mate. Absolutely fantastic. If when we do, please let us know. We will, and if you're doing it for charity, we will link in with you, mate, and get people sponsoring, and we'll do something through the Villa Park pod. So yeah, please keep us informed of that. And Villa, make sure you get to the cup final for Michael. That'd be amazing. I'm also looking at supporting the women's team. For those who've never seen Gordon Cameron's play, he's come back as Kenza Darley. She's an amazing player. Yeah, excellent player. Evening all, I agree. All AVFC women's transfers have been good. Absolutely. Richard talking about Buendia and Bailey. I imagine they're both of them no end products too many times, and that was a frustration with particularly with Emi Buendia. Like for whatever reason, everything he seemed to do on Wednesday, Martin, just seemed to be the wrong choice. I don't know whether he was just having one. It just seemed to be the wrong choice.
Yeah, look, he's not going to have a good game every game, you know. Obviously, we've been raving about him the last few weeks about, you know, his style of play, how his work rate off the ball and his creativity. But look, he's not going to have a good game every game, and you know, wasn't his night. It happens. You know, getting him subbed off probably. Oh no, he played full 90, didn't he?
Who?
I mean, when did he play the full 90?
Both of them did, yeah.
Both did. Yeah. So, so it was an off day for him, and look, you can forgive an off day regardless of you know which game it is, whether it's against Wolves, Birmingham, or West Brom. You know, it's going to happen to him, and you know, hopefully he bounces back in the next game, and that's all you can ask for.
Yeah. Michael said he does the charity for Acorn, so yeah, just keep us informed, Michael. We'll definitely get something linked in with them. So amazing, mate. Amazing stuff. Mark is joining us. Evening, Mark. Thank you for joining. Rachel said for the Wolves game, it's progress. We would have lost it previously, so drawing isn't a bad thing. And I think that's one of the things that we can take from it. And especially if we beat Leeds and Southampton, we just got to back it up. And I guess we were saying like you can't beat Spurs and then lose to Wolves, so we didn't lose. So it's just about capitalising on that.
Yeah.
Talk about capitalising. Yeah, we talk about the FA Cup, Stevenage on Sunday, League Two. If the draw's favourable, and we can't be complacent. First of all, Martin, but if the draw's favourable, you know we've got the Cup King Master in our midst now as our coach. Could it be Villa's year?
Could be. He really is a specialist in domestic competitions and, you know, even European ones, winning 3 in a row with Sevilla. But he's really got a good history in domestic cups. He's won an FA Cup with Arsenal. He's won the Copa del Rey, is it?
Copa del Rey, yeah.
Yeah, and you know he's won the cup with PSG as well. So it's a good track record, and hopefully, excuse me, that he does bring a trophy back to Aston Villa. It would be amazing. And if it was a chance that we did get to Wembley, you can definitely see me somewhere around there anyway. Because you know, if Aston Villa and
you'll jump on the back of Michael's bike. To be fair.
Oh, absolutely, Michael. Get the the double bikes. You know, when you're two people doing that. Yeah, Michael, you sort that out, and I would be right behind you, lad. We'll cycle all the way from Dublin. How's that?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know,
We'll obviously get your
yeah.
Go on, sorry, mate. Go on.
No, sorry, no. I'm just saying, if they do get to an FA Cup final, I really am going to do my best to get a ticket because I've never seen Villa being in like a proper FA Cup final. Like we had a League Cup final, you know, and I couldn't go down because I was only 13 years of age. But you know, if it gets to an FA Cup final this year, I am definitely going to try and get myself a ticket.
Awesome. Look, we can dream. We can dream. There's a long way to go yet, and we've got to get past Stevenage. We've got to past them. So, quick look at their kind of stats because I know they're in League Two, and I believe that they're second at the moment in League Two. So not going to be any pushovers. And yeah, so second at the moment. Matches played 24, win rate is 63%. So they're pretty decent, particularly at home. Played 13, won 11, drawn 1, lost 1. Away form isn't great. Played 11, won 4, drawn 5, but only lost 2. So they've only lost 3 games all season, mate, and they've scored 35 goals and conceded 17. So just there. Stevenage form is excellent overall with 15 wins, 6 draws, and 3 losses. They're second out of 24 teams, and they've scored 35 goals this season. So, yeah, while they are obviously a League Two side, decent form, mate, and one that we can't be taking lightly.
No, absolutely not. You know, especially it doesn't matter who you get in an FA Cup, you know, because there's always giant killings. We've seen it before. We've seen it with Lincoln. We've seen it with plenty of other teams.
Peterborough, I think someone was showing Peterborough the other day. Swansea beat us at home.
Shrewsbury Town got a result against Liverpool, you know.
Yeah.
You know, Barnsley even got themselves a result against Liverpool. You know, it has happened before. It's not, and you're dead right.
Everton are drawing against Man City, against Man United.
And look how bad Man United have been. Everton have been.
Yeah,
it just goes to show that the cup, it's just anything can happen. And here he is, big man George. Welcome, Georgie.
Is he just getting himself set up? We'll let him get himself set up.
He's wearing the Gerwin Price headset.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. He's just trying to get his sound up. We'll get him in when he's ready.
Yeah.
But you say, mate, it could be a potential banana skin. And I mentioned complacency there. We can't afford to be complacent, especially if we want to get through to talk about this good cup run. So
absolutely.
It's a big one. It's a big one. Mark there, just to make it better, make it even more noticeable for us. We haven't been past the third round since 2015, 2016. So Mark,
I mean, I hate this superstition stuff. Sorry, Richard, but I really hate this superstition stuff. Like, you know, when something like I even seen it. Like, you know, when Sky Sports just put something up like something that's good or it's bad, and it just comes to life. Mark, please just delete the comment, please, for the sake of everyone here. Please.
Yeah. No, it's so it is. It's one of those, but we're not. Hopefully we have this. We have a change of luck, but we're not amazing in the cup, and that's one of the dodgy things. George is with us. We're just talking there, George, about a potential banana skin. I've gone through Stevenage's form there, second in League Two, 35 goals scored this season. They're certainly not a team to be taken lightly.
Put it this way, lads. I'll better say hello before we do anything else.
Hello, mate. Hello.
How are you, George?
Happy New Year, lads. Lovely to see you.
You too.
Looking at the Stevenage game, we've been waiting a few years for a draw like this, to be honest, because I'm sick of drawing United and City and Tottenham and Liverpool. So we finally got a home draw against, I'm not going to call them a minnow, but a lower league team. And I fully expect us to go out and spank them, to be honest, boys.
Yeah, I expect a comfortable win, but you just want to make sure you put it to bed, don't you? You don't want to be kind of leaving it 0-0 after 60, 70 minutes. Their goalkeeper has an absolute worldie, and then they get a set piece, and then they're just like putting everyone behind the ball. You know, you've seen it before. What you want is a couple of early goals and put it to bed, and then you can kind of relax a little bit, and because you're in the next round, and they've absolutely got nothing to lose, Martin. They'll be going for it, won't they?
Oh, absolutely. And that's the thing I love about the FA Cup, when the smaller teams come to a Premier League stadium, or even if a Premier League club is coming to them, they've absolutely nothing to lose, and they will leave everything on that pitch. Newport County is probably the finest example I can think of. They had a very good run, and beating championship teams, the better Premier League team, I can't remember who it was. But it goes to show that the FA Cup, anything can happen at all, and the smaller teams, it's like a dream come true for them, because some of them may not even qualify, because I know some have to go through qualification rounds and all that. And for Premier League clubs, it's like, another cup weekend, if we get through, happy days. But for the smaller clubs, like, no, we want to be here, we want to beat you and do really well for our club to bring in some financial stuff, which has helped clubs in the past. So I'm not saying hopefully we lose just for the sake of seeing Stevenage do really well. We obviously want to beat
absolutely them. Not. Yeah.
But like, as a neutral, if
I
it
know
was
what
a
you're
neutral,
saying. You've seen it happen. You've seen it happen. Yeah. Agreed. George, just talk about Villa's. We went through kind of Stevenage's stats. Just talk about Villa here for a second before we get the predicted teams and people letting us know what they think. At the moment, we're kind of mixed. 18 games played, 6 wins, 8 defeats, 20 goals scored, 26 conceded, 4 clean sheets. Obviously, quite a bit of an upturn in form over the last 5 games. We just talked there about 10 points from the last 5 in the league. We're in decent form, mate. Even though it wasn't the greatest performance against Wolves, we're in decent form. So we should be, regardless of whether we were bottom in the Premier League, we're playing a little team from League Two, but we should be in we should be in pretty confident mood, whoever we put out in on our side.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's been decent pretty much really since Emery arrived. We've beaten United, beaten Spurs. Obviously got the draw with Wolves in the week, which wasn't amazing, but at least we showed a bit of a bit of spirit there to come back and rescue a point, something we wouldn't have done a few months ago. I think we're playing all right at the moment, and I can't see us not winning this game, to be honest. And we just hopefully breed some more confidence for the lads going forward towards the back end of the season.
Definitely. So let's get into it. Got a couple of comments here regarding teams. So Brett has joined in us, said he wants half the youth team out tomorrow, so give some of the youngsters a chance. Rachel said, I think needs to be a team mixed of youth and first teamers.
Yeah.
Richard said hopes Santon gets minutes. So we'll go through your team, Martin, and then George, you can kind of give your thoughts. I've heard rumours of 1 or 2 players that might be coming in. So, but your team, Martin, Olsen in goal, Luca Dean, Tyrone Mings, and Chambers at centre back, Ashley Young at right back, Caden Young in midfield with Dendoncker and Kamara still in. Coutinho, I mean, how good would that be for Stevenage to play against Philip Coutinho? And then a strong forward line of Ings and Watkins. So just talk us through that, mate.
Well, starting off with the forward line, I know it's a strong forward line, but we don't exactly have enough cover.
Yeah, that's true. That's
in a particular area of the pitch, so you kind of have to rotate either Bailey or Watkins. So I went with Bailey. Nothing against him, from the miss that he had. It was just, probably just a bit of time for his rest and just for Ings for his good form. Coutinho, he needs minutes considering he had an injury. So a game like Stevenage would be perfect for him. Kept Kamara in just to keep our stability in the midfield, along with Dendoncker. I know I'm a fan of Sanson, but Emery at the minute, I think he just fancies Dendoncker more than he does Sanson. I think Caden Young will probably get a debut in this game, judging by his, mid-season break abroad in Dubai. There was a lot of rave about him, so I think this will be a good game for him to get going. Ashley Young to play right back. Went with Chambers and a Minx centre-half partnership to, just something a little bit different, just give Collins a bit of rest. And we don't, again, and left back, we don't exactly have enough cover there. So I kept Dina on and Robin Olsen to start.
Cool. Yeah, I can't disagree with that too much. George, what do you think, mate? Do you think you would kind of agree with that, or do you think there'll be more, maybe young players coming in?
Well, it's hard to say really, because a lot of the good young players we've loaned out, haven't we?
Yeah.
And then as well as the fact that we've just had the World Cup, so we've only been back 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
So the players should be pretty fresh. But I'd be looking at Chambers, like you said there, Martin, and I'd also expect Bednarek to come in for Mings because he's not really played too much. Bednarek.
Yeah.
True. I forgot about him altogether. Yeah.
Yeah, Bednarek, I think, and maybe Augustinson again because he did all right when he came on.
Do you know what? I like him. I like him, boys. He was better than Dean within 10 minutes of coming on the other night. He's got a threat, hasn't he?
Yeah, that volley he hit as well was. I mean, how they
imagine that went in.
It was crazy. But yeah, I think because I thought maybe there was rumours of Bednarek going back to Southampton, but obviously he hasn't now. So there's the opportunity to play him in the cup. So I think
there's still a few days left in the window, Rich, for that to happen. It can happen at any given time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just whether he would return. He'd have to go back today to be able to play on Sunday. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably there.
I'll be looking at resting Ashley Young as well because he's played a lot of minutes this season, hasn't he?
For the age, didn't he? Yeah, maybe Cash has only just came back on Wednesday, so he might be all right. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of scope there. There's lots of scope. He could maybe bring one or two young players through.
Who's the young players that are sort of? Is anyone tearing it up in the youth at the moment this season?
Not really. That Rory Wilson's done well, but he's just signed his first professional contract now. But
O'Reilly,
Tommy O'Reilly's been good, midfielder, and then I can't remember the defender who was in pre-season. The lad we signed from Fleetwood, but like you say, Bednarek and Chambers need games, so I'd imagine that those two will come in. But yeah, it's always difficult, isn't it? Thinking of like what team he's going to put out for the cup. I mean, a couple of the players, Buendia and Bailey in particular, were kind of running on empty on Wednesday night, so I can't imagine they'll play. Like you said, Martin Sanson might get a run out, but although he's looking to get out to Nantes. Nakamba might even get a run out. Who knows?
Yeah.
So
them two have got to be looking at leaving now, haven't they? They're not really getting a minute, any minutes at all, are they?
Yeah, definitely.
Gary's put Feeney.
Feeney, that's him, Josh Feeney. Yeah. Good cut run gives the club a whole lift. Yeah, definitely wants a proper team out. About Michael saying it's about attitude, I agree, but we must remember that the team are more organised now than in the past, so we'll take a 1-0 win.
Sure.
Richard likes your team, Martin. That's good. It's been shown before that our second string aren't good enough even against Stevenage. So yeah, I think Gary wants a strong team there. Nate's in the house. Big up to the Villa Park Pod. Hopefully see in the fourth round, provided we Palace don't get stuffed by Southampton. I can see you.
You never know. It's an FA Cup, Nate.
Yeah, I can see you guys. Deontay is in the house, just joining. Hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, we're all good, mate. Hope you're doing well too. Looking forward to Sunday's game, definitely. Brett said he put Rory Wilson on the bench. You might see him. So yeah, we'll looking to get out of the Nantes. Nice. Yeah. So yeah, Rory Wilson. We might see him on the bench. You never know. Quick one before we get into kind of score predictions. Obviously, I did a show before around the transfer ins and outs, but just get your thoughts, lads, on particularly Cameron Archer going out on loan to Middlesbrough. Probably expected that he'd go to a championship club. Little bit of a shame that he hasn't really had a chance in the first team, though, George.
Yeah, it is really. I mean, we really hyped him up at the start of the season. It was Sam especially, wasn't he? He was
Sam was
really,
the big
really
one.
Likes him.
Sam was giving it the big one. Yeah.
He was chomping for him to play, and I don't know what his appearances have been this season, but what is it? Maybe 3 or 4 off the bench, maybe.
Yeah, not many at all.
For like
I know he's had injuries, hasn't he?
Yeah, but I think it's a good loan move for him. Borough have had a massive turnaround in the championship since Michael Carrick come in. They were about 22nd when he came in, and I think they're up in the top 6 now. So a team on the up. That's a sort of promotion run that we did not so long ago. So it's probably a good place for him to be going to get some goals and to get some confidence. And be interesting to see what happens with Archer going forward.
Yeah. And Martin, do you think that opens up a space for a striker to come in? And I know there's rumours of Danny Ings kind of being available. I know I think Emery's kind of quashed that a little bit to say he's a very important member of the squad. But even so, we can't really be running with Watkins and Ings and then a potential of Bailey up top, can we really?
No, not at all. But I did see Ashley Pearce put in a report that Emery's more or less looking for a winger this month. So maybe Archer leaving probably frees a bit of space for a winger. And if he leaves, if he gets rid of one or two, then it helps out a lot. I wouldn't be getting too hoped up about bringing in a striker just because he left on loan. Had he left on a permanent move, I would say yes, probably someone's coming in. But because he's left on loan, it doesn't exactly free up the wage bill because we might be paying a certain percent of the wages to him, and Middlesbrough could be paying something else entirely. But I wouldn't be getting too hyped up about bringing in a striker just because one person left on loan. Had he left on a permanent, I would have said, yeah, I think someone will be coming in. He probably has somebody lined up, but you never know.
Yeah.
The thing is, Watkins plays so many minutes, he doesn't get a lot of injuries, does he? Touch wood. So, Ings has found game time hard, let alone Archer. So, maybe we don't need another one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll see. One player I didn't mention who I think Emery quoted in his press conference that would be getting some game time is Jacob Ramsey. So it'd be good to see him back on Sunday if he is getting in.
Just I completely forgot for him. If I knew he was fit, I probably would have thrown him in.
Yeah.
I probably would have had him partnering Kamara, but funny enough, he has been a bit of a big miss, hasn't he? Like, just them driving midfield runs just to push us further up the pitch.
Missed him against Wolves, didn't we? You noticed him missing against Wolves.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah. We needed someone to break through. We needed someone to break the lines and get past that midfield because they were very strong in midfield.
Yeah, we have missed that, that one person just driving us forward and, might get a foul off the pitch or, gets a through ball and puts us on a counter-attack. We have missed someone like him very much. We really have.
Yeah. So I think maybe, like you say, maybe a Kamara rested for Ramsey or maybe Coutinho. I don't know. I think Coutinho might play. I think you're right. Maybe Ramsey plays on the other side instead of Caden Young. Maybe
I still like to see Caden Young get a chance.
I would, but I think Ramsey probably needs to play more so than him. But I think it's a good problem to have. Shows we've got.
But look, Emery's a tactician. You never know. He might put Ramsey in goals.
Yeah. In Emery we trust. Yeah. Before we get your score predictions, boys, please, as I said to everyone, thank you so much for watching. We are so close to 800, so if you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe to the channel. Please leave a like on this video just so we can help spread the word. We're getting loads of new viewers. We get loads of comments coming in, which is fantastic. So yeah, please help us spread that word so we can get past 800 onto that 1K and beyond. So that would be brilliant. And get your score predictions coming through now. What do you think the score's going to be against Stevenage? Is it going to be a mauling? Is it going to be comfortable, or is it going to be a real slug? I'm not sure yet. You boys will have to help me out. So, George, I will come to you first, mate. What are your thoughts on the scoreline?
I reckon it might just be a bit edgy for a little while. I reckon we might concede a shock opener or something, and it'll all panic stations will set in. But I think
stay off Twitter if that happens.
Yeah, you know that. Yeah, but no, I think the way things are now, I trust Emery. I trust the squad a little bit more than I did, and I think we'll find our way into the game. And I fancy a 3-1 win.
3-1 win. Any particular goal scorers?
I reckon Ings, Coutinho, and
you go for Coutinho.
Yeah, and I'll go for Ings too. Actually, yeah,
Ings too.
Okay. Yeah, he looked pretty up for it when he scored the other night, didn't he? So
shot, mate. Played well.
That'd be good. Yeah,
I like the celebration. He had this one, that's not normally a he just had the ears. I think he's probably silencing some, rumor mills about that. I'd say.
Yeah, probably. Deontay is saying 2-0 Villa, which is good. Gary's saying we'd like to see young players, but we haven't won. It's been 65 years since we won the cup, so let's make sure we don't waste our chance now. Rachel's saying 2-0 Villa. She's trying to be confident, but she thinks 2-0 Villa. Look, as long as we're in the hat for the next round, I'll take a 2-0. Martin, what about yourself?
I'm gonna go with 2-0 as well. It won't be a scrappy 1-0 game. I think it'd be 2-0. Might be just controlling the game, you know. Then game management will come into play. But it'd be nice to see a route, you know. But you know, I'm not gonna say anything like that. I'm gonna go with 2-0, and I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with a goal for Mings and Danny Ings. Mings and Ings.
Mings and Ings. Mings and Ings.
Sounds like a recipe.
Mark saying 3-0 Villa. I'm going to say 4-0 Villa.
Stevenage.
Yeah.
Jesus.
4-0 Villa. I think Watkins will get a goal. I think you're right. I think Ings will get a couple, and I think Ramsey will score. But yeah, I think we'll get one sort of midway through first half, and then they'll tire towards the end of the game, and I think we'll get a few after that. So, yeah, fairly comfortable, I would say. Alfie saying 4-1 up the Villa. So yeah, I think it'll be comfortable, and we'll be in the next round, and hopefully another decent draw, and we can push on from there. Lads, I think that's it. That's us covered. I think we'll be back. Hopefully, the game's Sunday, isn't it? Sunday afternoon. I think for anyone who needs to, I think it's on the BBC red button. So it's not. It's not on full on BBC like live. I think there's another game, but if you click the red button, I think it's on through the red button. So make sure you check that out. And we'll be back with a reaction show, I'd imagine, on Sunday night. Hopefully talk about us in the next round, and then I think the draw is the draw Monday, or is it on Sunday night? I'm not sure.
We're normally out by then.
Yeah. We never pay any attention to that, do we? So we'll if it's on Sunday night, we'll obviously be wrapped into the draw. If it's on Monday, we'll do that.
I think it's on Monday, you know.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah. We'll see.
Just be prepared
to
get Man United, lads. Just be prepared to get Man United.
Yeah, we'll see. And then we'll be looking at a preview for Leeds, maybe a couple of Bodymore Bulletin to discuss transfers. So loads of shows coming up. So please keep subscribed and keep those notifications on so you know the shows are coming. Lads, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining us, George. Thank you for joining Martin. Last thing that is left to say is to always remember, we'll follow the Villa. See you later, everyone. Bye-bye.